Hello, welcome to the American Business Podcast. I'm Kevin Deveji, your host. Today's number is $2.94 billion. This is actually how much value added by the manufacturers of US to the US economy, which is 10% of US GDP in quarter four 2024. So when it comes to manufacturing, we are talking about a very important part of our economy in the US. Speaking of manufacturers and most of the manufacturers being small businesses, we have a great guest today that will have a lot of important information about small businesses as well as manufacturers today. Let's welcome Joe Reed to our virtual stage. All right. Okay, looks good. Hello, Joe.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. Pleasure is all mine, and we are excited to have you today. How is your week going so far?
It's going well. It's going well. I just got back from vacation, so it's all chilled out and relaxed, back into the swing of things this week. So things are going pretty well.
Yes, that sounds great. Well, it's good to hear. And right after your vacation, you are with us at the American Business Podcast, and we are happy to have you today.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. So, as a start for our audience to get to know you, would you please introduce yourself and your organization to our audience, please?
Certainly. My name is Joe Reed. I am the chairperson for the Long Island chapter of SCORE. SCORE is a nonprofit organization and a resource partner of the Small Business Administration. We've been around for about 60 years, a little over 60 years. Our mission has always been to foster vibrant small business communities through mentoring and education and workshops. What makes SCORE special is that we're a network of over 10,000 volunteers across the country, and we pair with entrepreneurs to work with them and provide them guidance and support.
Yes, score is very important, and I'm glad that you are with us today. So we're gonna dive deeper in terms of score and its benefits and the organization. So especially business owners and small businesses can learn more about it. Well, let's talk about your career. How did you choose your current career? How did you get started?
Um, Started way back when. I got a electrical engineering degree in college, so I started in an engineering fashion there. Ended up getting an MBA degree from there, which really got me into the track of more focused on business. There's a lot of technical business, but really focused on the business aspect of things. Um, Started to really build a good, strong foundation through various career experiences, predominantly within the corporate world initially. Really learning a lot about business strategies, operations, leadership. About 13 years or so ago, I took the leap into entrepreneurship myself, start up my own business. Been successfully running and operating that business. And at the same time, I also entered into academia. So I was a professor teaching at an MBA program. And really, it was the love of teaching and the mentorship I was doing through the university level that kind of led me into SCORE, because SCORE is really all about mentorship and teaching and learning, um, everything related to business. So that's kind of what got me into SCORE, and now I'm taking over as the chapter chair fairly recently for the Long Island chapter, and it's a pleasure working with. We have over 70 members within our chapter, and it's a pleasure working with all of these volunteers.
Well, congratulations at your new post.
Thank you.
Best of luck. You work with many different businesses, business owners, small businesses, entrepreneurs. So your job is actually is very exciting. But we love to learn from you, especially what are the exciting parts and challenging parts of your work.
Yeah, my work at SCORE is it's incredibly rewarding. Um, as a volunteer mentor, I do this all on, I don't get to collect a salary for anything with this. It is all, putting my heart into this. Um, I get to work with a lot of different types of entrepreneurs from all different types of businesses, from a lot of folks just kind of starting out, looking to see where do I get going? How do I get started initially? And we do also get some folks that have been in business for a while and they want to take it to the next level. And how do I get to this level? Or I'm struggling in different areas. And we even get some folks that are looking to close down their business and they're looking for advice on how to get a proper exit strategy, kind of working through things. So it's a wonderful experience, an exciting experience working with a lot of different folks in a lot of different areas. I'm a lifelong learner. I love to learn. I learn every day working with all these different clients. And it really develops a good, strong sense of purpose for me. It drives me. Um, and it really motivates me with the impact that I have on these entrepreneurs. I get some outstanding feedback about the way that they've been helped and work through that.
Um, would you please tell us about SCORE? I would love business owners and entrepreneurs to learn more about SCORE. And if you can tell us how businesses, small businesses, and business owners benefit from SCORE and SCORE services.
Absolutely, absolutely. SCORE is a nationwide nonprofit organization. We've been around for a long time, a resource partner with the United States Small Business Administration. Our mission is to really help small businesses start, grow, and succeed. That's the bottom line. That's what our mission is. We do it through mentoring, through one-on-one mentoring sessions. We do it through education, through running different workshops, and providing various resources for entrepreneurs to kind of get over the hump and to kind of get moving and to put together their own tools for running their business. Our mentors are all volunteers, so the entire organization is full of volunteers who do the mentoring. They have some deep experience within the business field. All of them have been business owners. They have various levels of experience from marketing, management, leadership. Um, we offer one-on-one, confidential, and completely free mentoring services, working along with them. Like I said before, we have a number of different workshops. We do live workshops, usually at libraries. So you can attend a live workshop, get the personal interaction there. We have a number of a vast library of recorded workshops, pretty much covering almost any topic that you may need some assistance with or may need some help with. They go into some pretty strong detail. It's usually an hour and a half workshop, trying to go through the topic in as much detail as possible. And then, of course, if you want to dive even deeper, you could, hook up with a mentor and get that one-on-one deeper dive experience. Now, I do want to diverge a little bit. I'm going to kind of
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. This is very informative. Yeah, please.
talk a little bit more because right now, all the work that we
Yes.
do at SCORE is in large part funded by the federal government through the Small Business Administration. Again, we're full of a bunch of volunteers, but there is systems and some administrative personnel and stuff. So we do have certain budgetary things that we do worry about. And right now we are in the midst of a campaign. So I'm putting a little plug in here.
Yeah, let's do that. Sounds good.
Is everybody has seen some of the news with the administration trying to manage the budgets and cutting budgets. Sadly, right now, the SCORE budget is in jeopardy. So we are looking for support. We're running a campaign to gain some support from business communities about everything that SCORE does to kind of support small businesses. So couple of little facts, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, there's 34 million small businesses nationwide in the country, and about half of them fail within the first 5 years. So another statistic is the entrepreneurs that work with a mentor and work with an advisor and take that extra step, they're 3 times more likely to succeed. So some of our analytics show that for every dollar that we are funded through the federal program, the economic contribution is $54 back to the economy based on some of the success of the small business. So it's a 54 to 1 kind of return on investment. So if you out there, if all your listeners out there, if you believe in what SCORE does and everything that I've told you, look us up. Take a look at our website, score.org. You will see, if you go to our website, there's a little link over there about our campaign. It'll give a link where you can kind of show your support to SCORE, get a hold of our congressman to kind of let them know. And if you follow us on social media, we do have the Stand with SCORE. So if you do hashtag Stand with SCORE to kind of show your support on social media, so every voice helps. So together we can kind of make sure that SCORE remains a powerful resource and helping entrepreneurs across the country.
Yes, this is very important. Score is very important. I've been witnessing how businesses are actually benefiting from Score and Score's services. So I'm glad that we share this information, we put it out there. We also keep the website information on the screen just for our audience to know, score.org. So I personally love to support. I'm glad that you share this during our podcast episode. So you already got one of the supporters. So we'll definitely, put the word out so that our audience will know. As you may know, we have right now more than 26,000 YouTube subscribers. So this recording will go straight to the YouTube. We'll stay there. We'll also put the website information in the description as well on YouTube right after our recording is done. So we'll definitely, support SCORE, at least in our own capacity as the American Business Podcast. That's a pleasure.
Well, thank you very much.
Anytime. And also for our audience to know, you and I, we actually met during the United States Small Business Administration event, right? The roadshow.
Yeah.
So the head of the SBA came. She was very nice. She listened to manufacturers, businesses. The interaction was great. And one thing that we all learned there, which we knew, but the wording was great. Small business is actually a big business, right? So this is very important for U.S. economy. And that was a great event that I had the pleasure of meeting with you. And having said that, how do you see the U.S. small business landscape nowadays? And you just share some statistics in terms of how many businesses in U.S. and how they operate and get some results. So how is the small business landscape? How do you see it? And what should small businesses do to be successful in the U.S. marketplace as well as in global markets?
Yep. Well, to requote you, small business is big business.
Right.
Small business is the backbone of the U.S. economy. Roughly 99.9% of the businesses that exist in our country are classified as small businesses. So that's a huge percentage of the businesses that are out there that are classified as small businesses. They create jobs, they fuel innovation, they bring clarity and vitality to our communities. And I think there's a lot of exciting movement right now. There's a ton of technology shifts going on right now. There's shifting consumer habits, shifting work habits. The post-COVID era has made a lot of shifts in the way people think. And some of the technology really breaks down some of the barriers to entry. So I think there's huge opportunities with small businesses right now. And I do think that we're going to see some more spikes in that. I do think that people are going to gravitate more towards being business owners, being entrepreneurs. It does seem to be a direction that a lot of things are going right now. But with that, success doesn't happen by accident. So for businesses to really thrive, there's a lot of key steps that they really need to do in order to be successful. One of the first things is, and this is where I work with a lot of customers right out of the gate, is you need to have a good, strong plan. You need to have a clear plan. You need to understand your market. You need to understand your positioning. You need to understand your finances, your value proposition. It doesn't have to be perfect because there's a lot of people that are afraid to kind of take that first leap. So don't look for perfection, but you need to have some thoughts and plans going forward into that. If you really want to get into small business, the next thing is really to stay adaptable. So once you start going in there, you have a plan. Don't say, this is my plan, I got to stay in this boundary lane here, because you have to be adaptable. Things are changing quickly. You need to be able to adapt with all those changes. And probably the third thing would be to build a support system. So don't try to go at it alone. You want to have a good, strong support system. You can use SCORE or various other type of business advisors to try to work with you, to try to overcome some of those barriers and some of the learning curves along those lines. So those are the areas that I would say to focus on the most for if you're going to dive into this area to try to be successful.
Yes. So I like to shift our conversation towards AI a little bit, which is a popular subject. We get a lot of views and questions and requests to our podcast as well, to have more guests about it and then ask me questions. So we keep talking about AI, and it is actually here in some form. We all utilize it in our businesses. I like to learn about your viewpoint. How do you see AI? How it's gonna be continue impacting small businesses in the US as well as globally, I must say. And do you think AI will replace jobs in the future?
Okay. All right. Good question. And like you said, AI is here. It's here to stay. It's having a major impact already on business, and in particular small business. It has a major impact on growth, on sustainability. There's major things going on with AI that provides phenomenal benefits. In fact, I would say it's probably helped small business more so than anyone else, because it's the tools between the analytics and some of these real-time insights and some of the automation that it makes available. It really puts the small business in a better competitive position against some of the big guys that are out there. So it could become really a game changer for small business. And the small businesses that really embrace it and learn it and understand it and adapt it, those are going to be the ones that are going to be the fastest to succeed with it. Now, as far as will AI replace jobs, it's a hard one to say. I do think AI is changing the job market substantially. Will there be some jobs that could be eliminated? I would say potentially. I think the bigger thing is going to be just some of the shift in the roles. I think the roles are going to change dramatically. And again, the job seekers who adapt it more are going to become much more valued. I think there's going to be presented a lot more opportunity for job seekers that are absorbing this and kind of adapting it. From a business perspective, I think the businesses that adapt that, but at the same time, really adapt in the value of the human employee as well, because AI is a computer system that 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 makes decisions based on a lot of history and stuff, but it misses some of the human aspect of it. So you still need that human aspect, and small businesses need to recognize that in order for them to really succeed, they need to keep that human element while leveraging the tools for what they can do.
Actually, earlier this week, I was at a conference, and that was about SAP, and we talk about the SAP Enterprise Business Systems, and AI. So, as you may know, my background is, and my current profession is AI-powered enterprise software business. That's actually what I do. My company I work for does, and well, from that point of view, it was all about AI. So the neat things about the SAP is offering, which other enterprise software companies also offering many different things about AI, by the way. So the AI agents coming in, and they are specialized AI agents.
Yep.
Some of them are specialized in HR, some of them are in sales, some comes in customer relations. The way that they design it is actually to do what humans are doing nowadays. So these are the early stages for sure. I mean, they're not like 100% ready yet. They need trainings and trials and tests, and but then the way that it's actually coming in by so many different enterprise software companies, we are doing our own as well in our own capacity for different practices. This is mind-boggling, and to your point, the adaptability for small businesses to AI and the wave of AI coming in right now is gonna be, it remains to be seen how it's gonna, work out. But then it looks like, just to your point, it's gonna be a game changer.
Yep.
That's how it looks. So from a score point of view, just a follow-up question to AI. Um, how can small businesses can learn more about by working with Score, or anything that they can learn, or in terms of the updates, recent developments from Score? How can they interact with Score to stay updated, to stay current about AI?
Okay. Well, a couple of things. First of all, any mentoring that I'm generally doing with clients, I'm always encouraging them to use AI. Use those AI tools that are available. Creating a business plan, creating your marketing plan, creating some of your content. Use the tool, but don't take everything verbatim. So you always have to make sure that this is still your work, it's your business, it's your ideas, it's your passion. Um, so don't let AI kind of dictate everything for you, but use it as a tool because it's really going to help you to expedite a lot of things. Um, so I strongly encourage every client to kind of get on AI, start becoming familiar with it, use the tools for what the tools could be used for. Um, there's a lot of different AI tools out there beyond just the large language models, so beyond ChatGPT and those type of things, um, which are really, really solid, productive tools. Um, Score does have some workshops on that, so we've had some AI experts come in. So I could encourage your users even to go out to score.org and start searching for some workshops on that. You could really get some good insight into the various tools that are out there, how they can be used, how different aspects could be incorporated into your business and leveraged that way.
Yeah, that's a great piece of information. Truly appreciated for this insight. Well, you have decades of experience actually in business. And do you have any role models? Have you had any role models that you can share with our audience?
Um, you know, I, I really haven't had a role model per se that I follow and that I kind of latch onto as somebody that I inspire to be, but I definitely have been heavily influenced and inspired by a lot of key people in my life. One of them I would call out is Dr. Jerry Becker. He's a very close friend. He's been my mentor for decades. I've had the privilege of working with him since around 2008. He's an incredible leader and someone I followed to 3 different jobs. So I followed him from job to job because we were a great team. He's a phenomenal leader. One of the things that has always impressed me most about Jerry is, beyond his strategic mind, it's just the way that he builds teams and he earns trusts, and he really has this integrity behind him that he really helps other people to develop as well. So he's taught me a tremendous amount from a business perspective and more so from a leadership perspective. And another big source of my inspiration is much closer to home. It's my family. My wife and I have been married for 37 years. We have 5 grown children. Watching them grow into the people that they are today is an inspiration in and of its own. So each of them has forged their own path. They've all faced their challenges. They've overcome them. They've stayed grounded. Um, and that really brings me a lot of motivation and pride. And it reminds me every day why mentorship and support and guidance is really important for not only for business, but for life in general.
How about some lessons learned in your career journey? Uh, I'm sure you accumulate a lot of knowledge and experience over the decades. So, are there any lessons learned that you can share with our audience?
Um, a few things that would come to mind. First and foremost would be that relationships matter more than anything. Whether you're in a corporate leadership position or running your own business, everything you do, you want to make sure you surround yourself and your team and your partners and your customers, um, and make sure that you build a strong relationship with them. Treating people with respect, showing them integrity, building that trust is really what opens up the doors. That's what happened with me. I wholeheartedly believe that. I've treated every person that I've worked with and every customer with respect and dignity, and trust has always kind of developed from there. And you develop that trust, and that's the biggest avenue for growth and expansion, and to try to get to the next customer, because once you develop a reputation of being trustworthy, that's going to be the biggest marketing thing that you could have there. Um, Second, I would say, and again, this comes with a lot of working with some of the score clients, is you don't need to have all the answers to get started. A lot of folks, they have this fear of kind of getting started. I did myself, trying to leave the corporate world to kind of start my own business. There were fears in there. There was concerns that I had, walking away from that paycheck into this unknown environment. I had 5 kids to support at the time, but kind of taking that plunge is another area where you kind of learn to go in that direction. Um, Another one is delegation. So when I started my business, I was doing everything. I had some folks that I had working for me, but I was still doing everything. I was very much hands-on all the time, and I became a bottleneck. So I became a bottleneck in my own business, um, and I started to learn more of that. I still am, admittedly, I still am. Um, but that is an area that I think a lot of people struggle with, because they don't kind of want to let go of that. They like, this is my baby. I want to try to hold on to every aspect of it. But if you really want to grow and succeed, you kind of have to overcome that. Um, the next thing I would say is something that I already just mentioned here, is being a lifelong learner. You always want to be learning. You want to learn every day. You want to be driven by learning. You want to be able to learn every single day, because by learning, it kind of gives you that creativity, and it gives you that, it opens up doors and it opens up bounds for your own growth, um, and keeping moving in that direction.
Yeah, these are great insights. Much appreciated. Well, it looks like we have a lot to talk about. Sounds like we need a part two of these episodes. So this is really exciting. Thank you very much for all these great insights and information. Well, so one of the things that I do is I actually join the Career Day Inc. events. So they basically invite you to a high school, and you talk to next generation
Yep.
students, you address their questions and so on, which is something that I do quarterly, I must say, as my work schedule permits. So having said that, sharing education information is an important mission of our podcast with
Yep.
the next generation as well as today's generation. So what would you share as a career advice for those who are thinking about starting their own business, being an entrepreneur, right? So I was talking to young generation as well in different high schools that I joined, as well as in colleges. So this is also a career path, but just like you mentioned, some prefers starting with a position in a company. Some of them thinking about starting their own business. So what would be your career advice for those who likes to start their own business?
Okay. First, I'm going to repeat something that I said before, and that is, jump into it sooner rather than later. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity. Perfection never comes. So if you have an idea, you have a concept, don't think you have to have everything all lined up and perfect before you kind of get started. Getting started in a smaller way to kind of overcome some of those challenges is always one of the key things there. Second, if you have a business idea and a concept, this is one of the things that I've seen with far too many people that are looking to start a business. They have a concept. So they say, hey, I have this grandiose concept. I want to do X, Y, Z. But they don't kind of take the time and effort to kind of go under the covers into detail with this. So if you think of businesses, every business exists for one of two purposes. You're either solving a problem or you're filling a need. You have to keep that as a focus. So take that concept and really apply it to think about your customers and the problem that you're solving for them, and build your business all around your customers' problems and keep that as the center focus of your business at all times. Now, sometimes you'll shift, you'll have different problems, customers will have different problems. Maybe you can kind of expand out, have different customers with slightly different adjustments to different problems, but you always want to make the customer problem and be customer centric in your business and everything that you do there. And then the next thing I would say, surround yourself with smart people. You hear that all the time. I think Warren Buffett is one of his most famous quotes is, you got to hire people smarter than you. Surround yourself with good people and delegate. So bring good, smart people in, delegate, and kind of run the business that way. And then the last thing, I'm going to repeat myself again, would be, always keep learning. So be a lifelong learner.
Yeah, this is definitely worth repeating. Being a lifelong learner. So that's really important. Absolutely. Well, before we end our episode, I can't believe we already passed 30 minutes. Thank you so much with this episode, and thanks for joining us again. Well, before we end our episode, what will be your contact information in case our audience would like to be in touch with you and continue this conversation?
Sure. You could always reach out to me via email. So my email is joseph.reid, R-E-I-D, at scorevolunteer.org. So it's joseph.reid at scorevolunteer.org. I'll give you my phone number as well. I give it to everybody. My cell phone number is 917-209-9659. You could also go to SCORE website. If you go to score.org/Long Island, you'll be able to see Long Island resources, and you can kind of look me up there, and you can find my contact information over there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is great. Well, Joe, thank you so much for being with us. It was a great episode, and I'm sure our audience learned a lot from you during this episode. So hopefully we can also have a part 2. I'm sure we have a lot. And you know what I'll do? Yeah, thank you very much. It's a pleasure. Right. And you know what we'll do? We'll also promote more about SCORE in our coming episodes as well. Because we work with small, mid-sized, and enterprise companies in our podcast interactions, and we'll definitely put the word out to make sure businesses also support SCORE in any form possible. It's a very important organization, and just like you mentioned, small businesses is the backbone of the economy. We should all support it, and SCORE is an important institution to support the small businesses. So this is really exciting. So I'm glad that we got together with this episode. Thank you for being with us in your busy schedule.
This was wonderful. Thanks again for having me, and remember, try to support us, help us get through this budget crisis that we're having right now. And hashtag stand with SCORE.
Stand with SCORE. Okay, we'll definitely put that link also in our YouTube channel as well as a description. And I wish you a great Memorial Day weekend. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. Well, appreciate it. Thank you, Joe. Have a great weekend. So to our audience and to our listeners, it was a great episode, very educational. We learned about SCORE and how SCORE is supporting small businesses in US. So just like Joe mentioned earlier, Small businesses are backbone of the U.S. economy. Very important. Most of the businesses in U.S. actually are small businesses, and they are the, just like we talked earlier. Small business is a big business. So in that sense, we learn a lot about SCORE, and SCORE.org is the website that you can visit and learn more about. And let's support SCORE. SCORE's presence and services is critical for the success of small businesses in U.S. And I'm glad we learned about this today, about the need for the support for the SCORE. And as the American Business Podcast, we'll keep talking about SCORE, and we'll put the word out. That's definitely something that we can do as one of our visions to support. That's exciting. Well, as I mentioned earlier, we just got more than 26,000 subscribers on YouTube. We are very excited. Thank you for your support. If you haven't done so, please go to our YouTube channel, American Business Podcast, for the Next Generation ABP. Please subscribe, like, share your thoughts, put your comments out there, and be part of this growing business community. That's how we see the American Business Podcast, as the business community. And be part of it, please subscribe. And as you know, we stream every Friday. We share educational, informative content, and we have a great pipeline. We have a great subject matter experts lined up in our pipeline. We already scheduled for entire summer. So please follow us on YouTube, and please subscribe. Do you have an idea? Would you like us to talk about particular subject matter, particular industry? Do you have a guest speaker, or would you like to be a guest speaker? Please send us an email. We keep an open mind. We love to hear from you about a certain industry, a specific guest, a speaker. Our email address is americanbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. Also, if you are wondering what is coming next in our podcast episodes in terms of our schedule, if you go to americanpodcast.tv, you can also see our schedule. We actually put it there on our website every week. You can also learn more about our podcast, our mission, our team. So everything is on our website, americanpodcast.tv. And finally, we have a new sponsor, IPVanish VPN. If you visit their affiliate website that I'm putting on the screen, we'll also put it on description for the YouTube channel as well. I use IPVanish as a VPN, works smoothly, no issues. I was very happy. Also, customer service also good that I experienced so far. So you can visit this link, and also take a look. If you need a VPN, IPVanish is a good option that you can consider. Well, that's great. So it's been a great day today. We started with the Connectional America Business Networking event at 10 a.m. today. That was our first episode as a business networking event, the Connectional America. And then we had 2 episodes today on this great day. So I'd like to thank you for your time and thank you for your interest. I also wish you a great Memorial Day weekend. Thank you very much, and see you all next Friday. Have a great weekend. Thank you.